Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is JP the Outlaw, here to give you my Raw review for June 18, 2018. Wow. So, they start off the show with Kurt Angle. He's talking, just announcing that he want to have a conversation with Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss comes out. She says a couple of things about winning Money in the Bank, basically talking trash about all the women in Money in the Bank. Out comes Ronda Rousey. She talks trash to Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey attacks her and Kurt Angle. Great segment. I think Ronda Rousey looked pretty good. Alexa Bliss, I still don't feel as though she should be Money in the Bank winner, but they can always rectify that at some point before she, they could have rectified before she cashed in the Money in the Bank. But now, with her being women's champion, and, after this, they backstage, Ronda Rousey's talking to Kurt Angle, and Ronda Rousey just says she's tired of everybody telling her that this isn't the UFC. And Kurt Angle was like, well, you got to pay for your actions, okay? And, every action deserves a reaction, and the reaction for her attacking the GM is her being suspended for 30 days. Now, I wish they would do this more often. It gives a little bit more realism to the product. I love what they're doing with Ronda Rousey. Do I think she needs to be on Raw every night? No. That's when you lose the draw of Ronda Rousey. Just like a Shinsuke Nakamura when he first debuted on SmackDown. They didn't have Nakamura every day on SmackDown. Not until after his feud with Dolph Ziggler. Speaking of Dolph Ziggler, nice segue. They're in the ring. Seth Rollins in the ring. He makes a couple of statements about Money in the Bank and how hard it was to beat Elias. I thought we wasn't going to see Elias tonight. It's later in the night that we saw Elias, but it has everything to do with the Intercontinental title. So bear with me. Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler for the open challenge of the Intercontinental Championship. Dolph Ziggler pulls out a win here in a great match. Old school with the roll up of the tights. Same way Seth Rollins beat Elias at Money in the Bank. The roles are reversed. I like this. I like what they're doing with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. I think Dolph Ziggler should be in the heavyweight picture, but I don't mind him having the Intercontinental Championship, especially for right now. If you're not going to move Dolph, please move Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins should be the guy to take on Brock Lesnar. Definitely. All the way around. He should be the guy to take the title from Brock Lesnar. My opinion of it. Backstage with Dolph Ziggler hyping up his win, saying that Monday Night Rollins has been canceled and it's time to show off. Which, again, Dolph Ziggler, there's so much tap potential there. I hope that he does not re-sign with this company, because he could be a megastar in any other promotion. Any other promotion but the WWE. He can always come back. I have no doubt in my mind that Cody Rhodes is going to come back to the WWE. Chris Jericho definitely is going to come back to the WWE. Freaking Rey Mysterio will come back to the WWE. Just my opinion. Bobby Roode versus Curtis Axel. Quick match. Of course, Bobby Roode's win. He's wearing tape to cover up his ribs. Nothing major there, but, selling the damage from Money in the Bank. To be honest with you, I didn't even remember that Bobby Roode was in Money in the Bank. That match was a Braun Strowman just slobber knocker. To quote JR, it's a Braun Strowman slobber knocker from back in the day. Video package to hype up Mr. Money in the Bank, aka Monster in the Bank. We get an in-ring segment after that with Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes out to Braun Strowman, try to get him to team up, have Braun Strowman win the title, and the first person he'll go against after winning the title would be Kevin Owens. I love this angle that Kevin Owens is playing. He's a I don't know if you guys are in the comic books, but he reminds me of a Dark Sidious or a Proxima McKnight, where you're trying to convince people to turn on what their normal routine is. Basically, you're trying to get them to throw away their inhibitions to help you achieve your goals, which I think is great, especially with Kevin Owens. He's definitely the guy to do something like this. Trying to work the monster into being on his team. I find this great. Of course, Braun Strowman did not bite. They go for a handshake. He brings him in, tries to hit him with a running suplex. Kevin Owens reverses it, and he gets the hell out of there. Now, up until this point, Raw has been pretty good. Now you go into the lesser segments with a Sasha Banks and Bayley. Now, they've broken up again. But Bayley and Sasha Banks, Bayley goes to Sasha Banks, tells her she needs her help against the Riot Squad. Let's turn this round upside down and let's make this happen. You know, this win right here is going to make you feel better. Trust me. So, now, my whole thing with the Bayley and Sasha thing. One, there was nobody else in the backstage area that Bayley could have went to help her out with this situation. Sasha Banks has turned her back on you multiple times by now. You should see this shit coming. But the way it's being sold to us, the way they're telling this story long and drawn out, that Bayley and Sasha Banks are going to turn on each other again. I think this is going to spawn maybe one or two matches for Raw, mind you. That'll go nowhere. Bayley is fucking abysmal. Okay, you got Sasha Banks, who's one of your best pure athletes, and you're doing nothing with her. If Alexa Bliss can be 5 times women's champion, and Sasha Banks' reign only lasts a night, what the fuck is going on with the WWE? I'm convinced that it's not about wrestling anymore. Understanding that, you're putting divas in spots where a female wrestler could be. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Alexa Bliss. Not too much of Carmella, but Alexa Bliss, yes. I would like to see them. Like I said, they should have moved Sasha Banks and Bayley to Raw, SmackDown, and you could have did something better with them. Versus leaving them on Raw and, again, making them this completely pointless of being there. Just pointless for them to be there. My opinion of it. We get a match between Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy versus Rhino and Heath Slater. The B team cuts a hilarious promo. You got Kurt Henning's son, doing the impression of Matt Hardy, and you have Bo Dallas doing the impression of his brother, Bray Wyatt. They cut halfway through it. Of course, Bo Dallas pulls down his beard and starts talking regular, and then, you know, he looks over at freaking Curtis Axel, and Curtis Axel's like, I never break character. I thought that was a good, funny scene. Another backstage segment with Kurt Angle and Constable Corbin. Corbin has a message that he needs to deliver to Kurt Angle from Stephanie McMahon, talking about she's happy about how he handled Ronda Rousey. Kurt Angle upset, talking about not right now, and if I wanted to talk to Steph, I'll talk to herself. I would call myself. Basically, with his back turned to Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is still on the phone with Stephanie. Stephanie tells Kurt something which we will find out later in the night about what Stephanie let Kurt know. Get a quick match. Jinder Mahal, Chad Gable. I like Chad Gable. I wish they would push him more. I think there's definitely a good spot for him on 205 Live if you're not going to use him or team him up with Jason Jordan. The following match was Bayley and Sasha Banks versus the Riot Squad. It was okay. Sasha Banks wound up turning on Bayley here, pushing her after they lost their match. This spills into the backstage area later today. A brawl breaks out, and of course, Sasha Banks gets the upper hand on Bayley. Again, why do this segment? I think this segment didn't need to be done. You've already buried the hatchet so many times to where as though people don't care anymore if Sasha Banks and Bayley breaks up or stick together as friends. They don't care. So why even do this segment multiple times throughout the night, just asking questions. In the ring with Kurt Angle, he's about to make an announcement about Brock Lesnar's next opponent, which is automatically a 5-man extreme match. I think the same thing that they did last year for SummerSlam, they're going here for the Extreme Rules match, which is probably better because you can do so much more with this. I think last year with the Brock Lesnar 5-man match with Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, and I forget the other two guys, Finn Balor, and I forget the last guy. I really do forget that last guy. But I think it was, I think adding this stipulation of Extreme Rules would be better for the product long term. But out comes Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is saying, well, the first person he's going to see is me. Out comes Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley wants a shot at the Universal Championship. Not only a shot at the championship, but a shot at Brock Lesnar. Out comes the Revival. The Revival say, well, y'all two big guys. Y'all supposed to be the next best thing in the wrestling business. How about you fight us, the best tag team in the world? And that pretty much alludes to their match right after this segment. Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns teams up to take on the Revival. Good match all the way around. I think it was pretty good. Roman even had a good response. I think this is where you want a Bobby Lashley at versus literally destroying a man's career in Sami Zayn. Sorry to hear that Sami Zayn is injured, by the way, because Bobby Lashley only gave him 18 suplexes. He might have a concussion or a neck injury, but Bobby Lashley is still there, and you can do a lot with him. Right. All sounds like bullshit. I like the Revival in this. Please push the Revival. Please push the Revival. I'll say it again. Please push the Revival. One of the best tag teams to ever come out of NXT, and they're doing shit like this. And they brought both men to a great match, made them look excellent inside the ring. Bring to the tail end of this match, Bobby Roode is standing on the apron. Roman Reigns is on the same side of the corner that Bobby Roode is in. He goes for the ooh-ah right before he hits the fucking spear. Bobby Lashley tags himself in, hits the spear on, I think it was Dash Wilder. He hits the spear on him and picks up the win. And as he gets up, he mouths the words to Roman Reigns. That's how it's done. I like it, man. I really do. I think Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley are the right opponents for each other. And I think that could be told in many ways. Many different ways. I wouldn't mind this feud going out to three matches. This would probably last longer and be a little bit better. Backstage segment with Kurt Angle and walking back after trying to make his announcement. Finn Balor standing in the hallway. He asks for the opportunity to be in that 5-man match with Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. In comes Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens says, "Yeah, I think that's I should be in that match." It's Kevin Owens shit. Constable Corbin tells him, "Well, Finn Balor, if I was still in ring action, I would be taking a little squirm like you and beating the shit out of him." In comes Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, defending his friend, wants to have a tag team match between Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. That match was set up by the end of the night. The best part of this scene is Kurt Angle, where he walks off and says, "You know what? This is just a runaway train. Shit is out of control." So, I don't know what they're gonna do with Kurt Angle. I wish they would book him better as a GM, because Kurt could have so many segments, so many setup segments. He's damn near wrestled half the roster. I mean, none of his friends are over there. Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, nobody's over there. But you got Bobby Roode, and I think Bobby Roode could be, this year's Jason Jordan for Kurt Angle. I really think that could happen. But that's just my opinion. Another backstage segment. Sasha Banks is trying to leave the arena. Bayley walks up to Sasha Banks yet again. Talk about, "Sasha, I need to talk to you." Sasha tells Bayley that she's done with her. We're no longer friends. I'm leaving. And peace. That was pretty much it. She gets in the car, pulls off from an Uber driver. Bayley throws a bottle of water at the back of the card. I don't know where they're going with this. I really don't care. I would like to see this actually end in some type of way. So with one of these women earning an opportunity to go up against Alexa Bliss for the women's championship. I wouldn't mind if this is where this is leading, then fine. But for the most part, they're going to drag this out. It's going to go nowhere, and you're going to be sitting there with, well, why are you wasting Sasha Banks and Bayley? That's what's going to happen. Backstage interview with Seth Rollins. Elias, before this interview, had a fantastic performance. He actually performed all the way through, and then they went to the interview with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins feeling some type of way after losing the title. He's already put in for his rematch clause. Next week, you'll get Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins 2, to see who keeps this championship. I like it, man. I like it. For our main event, Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor and Braun Strowman. Decent match. The right team won here because, Braun has been damn near undefeated. I hate that they sacrificed Finn Balor, but the right team won it. Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin needed a win. I think Baron Corbin's last win was on SmackDown. Kevin Owens is damn near 3-45. So, yeah, it's about time they picked up a win. And that's your Raw review. I will be back later today with the SmackDown review. And also, sometime this week, I will give you my Money in the Bank review. And you can check us out on all platforms. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Wrestling Amino. Check us out on these platforms, man. As you get a little bit more details on Wrestling Amino. I do a whole different other episode. But I'm JP the Outlaw. I'm about to get up out of here. You guys be safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.